Hello, this is Arielle from Inconspicuous Bear, and I'll be narrating the heroic version of the Nythendra encounter in Emerald Nightmare from a Guardian point of view. The heroic version of Nythendra is actually, incredibly boring. There's very little you have to worry about, and your survival is pretty much never in danger. It's all about your raid just basically not dying, and with the amount of gear available when you actually get to heroic, it's very unlikely that this encounter will present a problem. But what it does do is offer you an opportunity to test out and experiment with the new cat weaving rotation if that's something that you're interested in. We'll cover that in a second, but I just wanted to point out that this encounter is not dangerous to tank. You will pretty much guaranteed never to die. Your raid, the likelihood your raid is going to fail is basically zero, but it does give you an opportunity to practice, and that's what you should take away as being the valuable thing. The only tank mechanic in this encounter is something called Volatile Rot. This functions basically identically to artillery from Iron Reaver in Hellfire Citadel. Basically, you get a debuff. When the debuff expires, you take a bunch of damage, and everyone else in the raid takes damage based on the distance they are from you when they explode. You'll have a designated location to run to for basically the debuff expiring, at which point, I mean, yes, use a cooldown, I guess, because it's like, it is 2 million plague damage, but it's not going to hurt you, because you're going to be at full health when you get there, and it's already reduced by all your passive stuff, so it's not that big a deal. I mean, yes, it happens, and yes, you have to pay attention to it, and yes, exploding in the middle of the raid is bad, but it's not going to threaten your survival in any way. The remaining abilities are all raid abilities, so everyone in the raid has to worry about them, not just you. First of these is Infested Breath. She'll point at a particular person in the raid that's not a tank, and begin to cast a spell. Once the cast finishes, she'll begin channeling for 5 seconds. Each second you are caught in the breath, you take about 360k plague damage, and then a bunch of infested ground patches are also created on the ground. Note that infested ground patches are also created when volatile rot explodes. So these patches basically, you just take 300k nature damage every second that you're in one. Not a big deal. The last raid mechanic you have to worry about only occurs during Phase 2. It's called Burst of Corruption. Basically, a bunch of untargetable bugs will start getting really big on the ground, and you have to dodge them. That's it. It's that simple. And yeah, this is something you really need to get good at, because in Mythic, extra stacks you take of Infested, which is a dot that you'll see on you. For purposes of Heroic, you can just ignore it. But in Mythic, that's actually a really big deal. So try and obviously just avoid getting hit by bugs, because they do like 800k damage, and in Mythic it goes up. Plus you get extra stacks that you shouldn't be taking, so just avoid the bugs. Talents in this encounter will deviate slightly from, well, not slightly, they deviate quite a bit from your standard survival setup. You'll want to take brambles because it's free damage and you're not in danger of dying anyway. Displacer Beast is really good in this encounter for making sure that you get out and back in time for Volatile Rot. It's not too big a deal on Heroic because you end up actually having plenty of time to travel both directions, but on Mythic it's a big deal, so getting used to it now doesn't really hurt anything. You'll want to take up Feral Affinity in order to practice cat weaving, which is basically a method of increasing your damage during downtime when you're not actively being attacked by something. It basically just involves dumping your energy bar as efficiently as possible, mostly into bleeds, and then shifting back into bear form, because remember, bears sustained damage is far superior to cat sustained damage with Feral Affinity. It's just the extra dot damage you can pile on top of bear sustained damage that makes cat weaving extremely strong. And then the last three are standard: Galactic Guardian, Guardian Balloon, and Rend and Tear. Note that while Pulverize is technically better than Rend and Tear on a single target, its usefulness drops off significantly once you include cat weaving, because you just don't have enough time to build up the extra thrash stacks while cat weaving. So take Rend and Tear if you're into cat weave, otherwise feel free to use Pulverize if that's truly your heart's content. And that's it for Heroic Nythendra. Hope you enjoyed this video, and good luck in your raid.
I'm so like paying attention to my stacks for no reason, but I'm really that's making me nervous.